Good evening and salutations, my bold and beautiful fans. Let's talk about Eric and Brooke. It's like rinse and repeat with them. Um, you know, Brooke does her usual spiel, props up Donna, trashes on Quinn. Donna's your answer, and Quinn is pretty much your problem. Same thing that they have been doing since I started watching the show. Since I started to come back and watch the show. Now, Brooke does briefly talk about, Donna being fired and how, she's sent to ask, like, so was this your idea? Did you champion for this? And Eric was like, no. Um, and Brooke was like, okay, I knew it. It was, I knew it. It was Quinn. That's the problem right there. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Granted, I love how she walked in the door. They're hugging, they're smiling, they're kissing each other on the cheeks. And I'm like, yo, this dude literally just fired your sister. And you're just like, we're all buddy buddy, we're cool. Did I miss something? Listen, if it was, I don't have siblings or anything like that, but if it was my sister or my cousin, and, they got fired because my sister or my cousin hugged the manager or who whatever, and she got fired, I'm pretty sure I'm coming in with a different type of energy, you know? And that's literally what it was. She was just like, oh, okay. So it was Quinn's fault. Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. It's like, no, that's not the problem. But no one seems to really be that. Honestly, to tell you the truth, the only person that seemed to be initially angry that was like a realistic response was Katie. After that, it was just okay. Um. So yeah, she just gives the usual spiel. She also does ask, um, like he having sex with Quinn, and he's like, no, 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 everything is still the same. And I'm like, have y'all tried like role playing or anything like that? Like, I'm just saying. But of course, this is her. Oh well, see, that's the problem because it's not, like if your body isn't responding to her the way, if your body isn't responding to her the way it's responding to Donna, then there's your answer. I was like, no, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. That just because you respond to someone on a, I don't know, in a sexual way doesn't mean that you're going to respond to them in an emotional way, you know. And when we get to Carter and Quinn, the question, Carter's like, how's things going with you and you and Eric, and she's like, it's the same. And then she starts to sit there and think that, listen, as much as I do not like those Logan sisters, maybe they have a point. Maybe it's maybe by maybe, maybe it might be me, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I did this review before, and my other tablet finally died on me. And I don't mean like died, I mean like it's so old that it's so old that it doesn't even like use YouTube anymore. So, which is kind of messed up because I guess it just happened like a couple hours ago. So I was like, damn, maybe I should just review, maybe I should just did Bold and the Beautiful and Days and then did GH. But anyway, so there might be some stuff that I might be missing because I'm doing this again. But she starts to sit there and say that she took Eric for granted and stuff like that. But then she's like, I'm not gonna do it again. And now there's one part, I knew I forgot something. There's one part when Brooke is like, oh, well, Donna would never hurt you. She would never cheat on you with another man or anything like that. And I'm like, from what I heard in the comment section, not just my comment section, but just on like on Instagram, like Born the Beautiful, whatever, that Donna has done Eric dirty as well, as far as infidelity goes. So the fact that Brooke was like, well, Donna would never hurt you, she would never cheat on you and look at another man that way, and it's like, I'm pretty sure she has. According to sources, I'm pretty sure she has. Now, again, I haven't really been watching the show that long, so I'm kind of relying on a lot of people as far as um, stuff in the comment section. But I'm probably gonna sit there and do a little bit more of a deep dive as far as like what transgressions have Donna done as far as Eric is concerned. Because it just a lot of times I see in the comment section it's like Donna isn't that much better than Quinn, So I don't know. Um, but she does give the whole spiel like, yeah, I was wrong and I'm gonna do better and stuff like that. And I'm like, so how are you gonna sit there and like fix that whole like part? Like, how are you gonna sit there and fix the bedroom part? Like, how's that gonna work? And yeah, I've said this before, so I'm probably gonna sit there and kind of screw it up. See, this is why I like to kind of do first takes and don't really read from the script or whatever, because it's like. But anyway, what I said in my last review, the one before it got erased. Um, Now, speaking from the male species, um, sex is a mental thing, an emotional thing, as well as physical. And I don't know if she realized how much pressure that she's putting on him. Even if she doesn't feel like she is, even if she's not, doing it willingly, she's still putting a lot of pressure on him. And granted, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, but it's not just a physical thing with us. And I was like, maybe, I'm starting to thinking now. I was like, maybe they should like go to a sex therapist. Um, Not a therapist. I mean, like an actual sex therapist, because their problems is not going to get any better by them just sitting there hoping that it will happen. You know. And I'm not usually one for like fashion and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a good look or whatever, but I didn't like what was Quinn going for in this episode? Was she going for like a Wonder Woman thing with like the armbands or anything like that? Like what was that about? I like when I saw it I was like, I don't I don't know what to think. Now, Finn asked Sheila straight up, who's my dad? Sheila lies and says that, it was way back when and she didn't, she doesn't know who his father is, you know? And it seemed like Finn was getting a little kind of frustrated, like he didn't believe her. And on top of that, I mean, he's not really sitting and supposed to be near her, talking to her or anything like that. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go. Now, Jack is sitting there hiding. He's literally sitting there hiding in the corner somewhere like a damn coward until he leaves. So when Finn leaves, Jack walks up to Sheila and is like, yo, did you tell him about me? Like, did you spill the beans or whatever? Second. Now, at first, it looks like Sheila does kind of, play a bit of, like she does sit there and start playing like emotional games and I'm like, well, what if I did? What if I did sit there and tell him? And, Jack is really like, whoa, I guess I'd sit there and do damage control with Finn and, my wife or whatever. I'm like, hmm. So Sheila's like, yeah, I didn't say anything. I kept your secret or whatever. And, Jack is all, grabbing her hands. And it's like, oh, well, I thank you and stuff like that. I thank you. And I'm like, you, hmm. But Sheila's like, yo, listen, he's going to find out. Like, he is determined, just like you, to sit there and find out, like, as far as, like, who his dad is. He's not going to stop. Now, Thomas was in this episode for like 2 minutes or like a minute, and I felt like, bro, why did you even bother to show up to work? Like, why? But anyway, Finn goes back, and he eventually wanted meeting up Steffi because Steffi had to relieve the babysitter. And so, Finn, I mean, damn, I guess he just already knew her reaction. So he was like, well, I don't want to keep any secrets, and, we're supposed to be honest. I was like, bro, just get to, like, just get to the point at this point. Like, what are you doing? You that scared of her? Like, you that scared about her reaction? So he does tell her that he saw Sheila, and Steffi is all like, "Oh, well, she's stalking you and stuff like that." But Finn is like, "Listen, I did have to ask her a question about who my dad was," and he tells her that she said that she didn't know. But it just stops right there, and then you get this weird, like, I don't know what went on in their heads and how they thought this was gonna work out. But towards the end, they do this Brady Bunch kind of thing where you see Finn, the stupid looks that he always makes. You see Finn, you see Sheila, and you see Jack. And I'm just like, what? What is this supposed to be? What is this supposed to be? I don't understand that. Also, so let's get this straight. Donna had to get fired because she gave Eric an erection. But yet, Quinn gets to sit there and run into Carter pretty much all the time because they work in the same place. So that's okay. That's okay for you to sit there and practically run to your boy toy, because you're doing it because they're in work, so it's fine. But Donna can't keep her job because, what? Quinn's upset that she couldn't give her husband an erection and Donna could? Like, it just... And like I said, I don't know... Well, I didn't say this, but I don't know the history as far as, like, the Logans and stuff like that. And, a lot of people have been sitting there saying that the Logans is just as bad as Quinn, and that, there's a lot of people that side with Quinn versus the Logan sisters. And I don't really know much about them. I do... like, with Brooke... yeah, she definitely is a piece of work, but I don't really know much about Donna, and I don't really know much about Kate. And from what I heard about Kate, she's not exactly an angel. But I guess that's why it's a little kind of weird coming into a show where, a lot of people have basically saying, like, Katie has done her fair share of stuff. Donna isn't exactly a saint, and well, at this point, it's just pretty much it's just obvious to everyone about Brooke. So it's very difficult to sit there and be like, well, I'm on Katie's side as opposed to Quinn, But when I'm watching it and I see Quinn doing all of this extra stuff, to Donna and stuff like that, and acting like a damn psychopath, it's like, I mean, come on, you're just making it so obvious to sit there and root for Katie and the Logan sisters, even when I gotta side with Brooke, as opposed to crazy ass Quinn. I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please write down in the comment section below, since I had to, do this review again, because apparently my tablet is too old to even get YouTube on there, so that sucks. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.